In this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, the Itachi backstory arc continues, and we get to learn that Itachi was originally a part of Team 2 with his teammates Tenma and Shinko, and in this week's episode, they do battle with some ninja cats. That's right, my friends, Itachi and his team are looking for some pussy. One of the key reasons to even check out this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden is just to see all the funny moments with Itachi actually wearing cat ears. Safe to say, I think that the YouTube community is going to absolutely love this episode, which at the end of the day was a really fun and just goofy episode of Naruto Shippuden, which is expanding greatly on the backstory of Itachi Uchiha. The end of the episode, however, starts to veer into some extreme dark territory, making this arc all the more interesting, and in my humble opinion, this is probably one of the best filler arcs that I've seen from the entire Naruto series. Before we get into what's really important about this week's episode, let me just comment on the character of Izumi Uchiha, who is this young girl from the Uchiha clan who is just completely obsessed with Itachi, to the point where, frankly, it's kind of creepy. And if anything, she's just completely infatuated with him, to a point where she's practically in love with Itachi. Now, the reason this is so strange to me is because she is also a member of the Uchiha clan, so things are starting to get into sort of that, like, creepy, incestuous territory, although you also have to realize that the Uchiha clan at this point in time is very large, and in Japan, culturally speaking, it's not that weird for cousins who are like twice removed or like distant cousins to actually form relationships with other people from their family. That being said, I still think it's a little weird that these two characters just happen to be in love with each other, so to speak, and we all know at the end of the day, it's probably going to end in tragedy when we get to the Uchiha massacre. But until we get there, let's just have fun with this big cat adventure. So basically in this week's episode, we get to learn that Itachi was originally a part of this team, which was led by this guy by the name of Minazuki, who's basically just your run-of-the-mill, normal-looking ninja from Konoha Village. Itachi's teammates are Tenma, this kid who just does not like Itachi whatsoever, one, because he's completely jealous of his skills, and then there is Shinko, who is the lone female member of the team, who, like most other females in the Naruto series, is completely obsessed with Itachi because he's just so damn cool. And the mission that they're going to be going on in this week's episode is that they're going to be looking for this very specific ninja cat, who has one of the goofiest designs that I've seen from the series. Basically, he's the cat equivalent of Pakun the ninja dog, except that it's a ninja cat. This mission was presented to them by Nekoba, otherwise known as the Granny Cat, a character who has appeared multiple times in the series and sort of acts as like a weapon salesperson to the Uchiha clan, and she also happens to be something of a crazy cat lady, because one, she looks like a cat, two, she's surrounded by cats, and she always seems to distribute these little cat ears to everyone that she runs into. So, most of this episode, you're going to see Itachi and his teammates wearing these goofy little cat ears as they try to hunt down this pudgy little orange cat. And frankly, it's just hilarious, and it's a lot of fun. What I also really love about it is it shows how Itachi has become so much closer with his teammates, how he actually starts to form relationships and has friends for the very first time in his life. And of course, by the end of the episode, the mission is successful. They end up stopping this cat who has some surprising ninja abilities and some action scenes which are actually kind of thrilling to watch. However, at the very end of the episode, we get to learn that Itachi has actually just activated his Sharingan eyes for the very first time, and the reason that he has them is because his teammate Tenma was actually killed. There's this one scene at the very end of the episode where apparently he went on a mission with his team to protect this feudal lord, and they were suddenly attacked by Obito Uchiha under the guise of Madara Uchiha, and he ended up slaughtering Tenma right in front of Itachi. We don't get to see what happens after these events are done. Obviously, he ends up sparing Itachi. I'm not sure if Shinko, the female member from his team, was killed or not. It is heavily implied, however, but this is definitely going to send a rift through his team. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, Itachi and Cat Ears? 5 out of 5. Call me crazy, but I really loved this episode right here. It had some really great production value behind it. The artwork, the animation, all the character designs are very distinctive. Some of them are a little boring, kind of like Itachi's teacher Minazuki, who, like I said, basically just blends in with all the other ninja from Konoha Village, just wearing the green flak jacket and all that jazz. But his teammates are really, really fun, and seeing him interact with them is great, because it actually makes Itachi seem a little more human, and I really appreciate that. I also like how we started to delve a little bit more into the Ninja Cat world, something that's been hinted at multiple times in the series. There have been filler episodes dedicated to it. We've already seen the character of Nekoba many, many times, and getting to see her and all of her cats are really awesome, especially that one who was introduced in this week's episode, the big, chubby little orange cat. I love that character. He was so much fun, especially because basically he's just chasing tail and basically just getting rejected by everyone, and that's actually how they're able to sneak in and actually meet this guy for the first time, because it's a cat just hanging out, drowning his sorrows with sake. It's really damn funny. I also really like how Itachi was able to best the cat by throwing his kunai in multiple directions, one of them actually getting stuck in the ceiling, and then it falls down and actually cuts his whiskers, which sort of knocks his equilibrium off, which allows him to actually take this cat back to Nekoba. She wasn't too happy that the whiskers were cut away, but Tenma actually needed those for his father's sake, although before you can even get to see how that was resolved, he ends up getting killed in this flashback, which just came out of nowhere. Basically, this is just the beginning of the tragedy of Itachi's backstory. That being said, this episode is doing a really great job on expanding on the past of the character of Itachi Uchiha. The only real complaint I really have is that I just think that it came a little too late in the game. Like, I really do appreciate this story, but it would have been a lot better had they told this a long time ago and not in the middle of the war, especially because we're so close to the very end of the series. That being said, this is still something that I think most Naruto fans should definitely check out at least once, especially if you're a fan of Itachi, just getting to learn a little bit more about his character, where he came from, and how things went completely wrong for him, and how this is all going to lead up to the Uchiha massacre, him becoming a member of the Akatsuki, and his eventual confrontation with his brother Sasuke. Sasuke also had a small appearance in this episode, again, just being an adorable little kid, wearing the cat ears and everything, basically just a small cameo. But this is doing a really great job of expanding on arguably one of the most popular characters in the entire Naruto series, and it's actually make me appreciate Itachi just a little bit more, because Itachi, I think, is a cool character. He's not like in my top 10 favorite Naruto characters or anything, but this is allowing me to sort of like him just a little bit more. And that being said, the production value on these episodes are certainly a lot better than the stuff that we saw from the Infinite Tsukiyomi filler arcs, and they're way more entertaining. This was a pretty fun episode of Naruto Shippuden. Not a perfect episode, mind you, but definitely one that I really enjoyed, and I'm still surprised how every single week I'm actually looking more forward to seeing the backstory of Itachi and what they're going to do with it. So I'm going to give this week's episode a 4 out of 5. Great expansion on Itachi, pretty good production value, and frankly, it's just an entertaining episode of Naruto. No, it's not the canon material, and it's not the end of the series, but I'm going to take what I can get at this point, and honestly, I am actually enjoying it. So Naruto fans, check out this episode. You might see something you like. But if any of you did watch this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. Are you liking the backstory of Itachi? What do you think of his teammates Tenma and Shinko? And what do you think is eventually going to happen between him and Izumi? Is he going to be forced to kill her at the end of the Uchiha massacre? Will she be killed before then? What do you want to see from the rest of the Itachi backstory in the Naruto Shippuden anime series? Please tell me in the comments section below. You guys are awesome! Thank you for watching this review. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, please do so. That way you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews. And make sure to share this video and all of our other ones with your buddies. You guys can also follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!